Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we need a new game plan. The last video that I uploaded was painful because the process was not enjoyable. And at that point, I had to rethink the strategy of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I think the biggest challenge at the moment is this game is not fun if you're not making money, because the idea of making money is fun. However, that is only if you're trying to min-max and you're trying to make a profit. If you're trying to enjoy this game for what it currently is and nothing more, then there has to be a sense of progression. That has to be what we're doing here. And so for me in this Zero to Hero series, it's not about how much money I can make. It's about building up my fleet. And so I need to get back to what is fun in this current version. And don't forget, this will change and it will evolve. So for me right now, I'm going to move away from the scanning. I'm not going to worry about the markets or anything else right now. I am simply going to craft resources and I'm going to work towards getting that ship. So in order for me to do that, what I first need to do is I need to find a loop that allows me to be sustained. A self-sustaining loop that allows me to be away from my base and not have to keep coming back, because it's too much to keep doing that. So we've had a look before, and I'm going to come back to this. We've talked about this before. I'm going to look at the map. And we've talked about this area and where we need to be and what we need to do. Now, I need copper for ammunition. I can get that here. I get hydrogen for fuel. I can get that here. I need biomass for food. I can get that here. And I need iron, which I can also get here. And this is going to help me in terms of what I need. So MRZ4 and MRZ3. These are the two places that I can go to. Now, the problem I've got at the moment is each of my ships has like a 250 capacity, which means that every 7 minutes I need to be redoing this, right? It's gonna take a long time. But I'm not worried about that. The goal is just to be able to get an additional ship. That's all I want to do. So in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to get that additional ship, I need to go here first. I need to be self-sustaining. So I need to be able to craft these materials. I need to have enough fuel. I need to be able to come back here when I need to. So I need to know how much fuel it's going to cost me to get from here to here. Make sure I can top up with fuel. Make sure I've got enough fuel and ammo. So I'm going to stockpile here fuel and ammo. And I'm going to stockpile here iron ore and biomass. And that's what we're going to do at the moment. We're going to run between these two zones. And we're just going to stockpile in each of these two locations. And then we will just go between the two of them. So I need to know what it's going to cost to get from one to the other using a slow warp. So I've always got that amount of fuel. And then I need to know what I'm going to need in terms of resources. Now, I do have a lot of resources in my starting zone. But for now, for the purpose of what I'm doing for now, I think it's gonna be too difficult for me to move it all, because I can only move 750 at a time, and every time I do that, I'm going to be using up my fuel, so I'm not going to have any fuel. So that the fuel that it costs me to get from my starting zone to MRZ4 is just not worth it for me. It's too far out. So for that reason, that's where I'm going to be heading, over here. And this journey here is the interesting one that I'm going to have to look at. So let's do that now. Let's figure that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm in my CSS. We're going to dock our ship. We'll do that first. Hopefully we're going to dock our ship. Maybe just need to refresh because I haven't done anything on this for a little while. So let me just refresh. Okay. Oh, no, that's not correct. Let me just refresh that. It's trying to get me to create a new character. That's not right. There we go. Okay, so go to our asset location. We've still got our 3 bikes. Okay, so now we're going to dock. In hindsight, I should have just bought 4 bikes. Yeah, you live and you learn. In fact, I should have bought as many bikes as I could for that $20 and then just moved out. So, yeah, you live and you learn. All right, so now we're here in our Starbase hangar. Okay. We've got as much fuel as we can get at the moment. I can refuel, put an extra 15% in there. So we'll turn on the auto confirm. We've got enough ammo, so that's fine. We've got 21 survey data units, so we've got that so far. And we've also got these toolkits. So the toolkits, unfortunately, are taking up quite a lot of space. The question is, do we get rid of them? Because we're not, well, are we going to be doing the survey data at the moment? That's the other question, you know. So what are we going to take across with us? What do we need at the moment? So let's have a look in our inventory. Well, we know at the moment in terms of if we look at what we're using, so if we're going to be mining, we're not using much fuel to mine, that's fine. But food and ammo we are. Now, food is something that we're going to have to move across to get. So here we can get fuel from here and we can get ammo from here, but we're not going to have food. So what I recommend doing at the moment is taking food across with me so I don't have to then move across to another place. So we're going to fill up with as much food as we can. All right, and that's not actually that much at the moment. We're only going to be able to take like 400 food with us. Actually, less than that, to be honest. There you go. We can take 350 food with us. So we transfer that to the fleet. Now, we can do scans while we're there. So it won't hurt to do that. We can do some scans. We're going to be there for quite a while. But rather than just focusing on scans, we'll do the scans as and when we're going to do other things. And then the scan will be on cooldown, and that's all good. We can just focus on other things. All right, so our ship is full. Let's undock our fleet. So we're going to go back to our starbase, hangar, click on our fleet and undock it. And off we go. So now we're going to head up back to where we was before. We're going to go to undock fleet. We're going to go to manage fleet, movement. All right, and we want to go up here using our subwarp MRZ4. All right, it's going to take 33 minutes. We're going to use quite a bit of fuel. We're going to have 45% left afterwards. But that's where we're going to go. And that's the other location as well. So we could get there, but we'd only have 16% fuel left afterwards. So this is where we want to go. All right, we're going to subwarp to get there. It's going to take us 33 minutes. Once we're there, we'll then start. And these videos are going to be much shorter now. We're going to keep these videos to about 10 minutes because I don't think they need to be too long because there's not really much we can do. It's just going to be checking in. So we'll subwarp to there. It's going to take some time. Once we get there, we'll obviously continue crafting our fuel. And once we've got a stockpile of fuel, we'll start to do copper ore. And then we can craft that as well. Now, this is going to take time. It's going to take time. It's 33 minutes to get to that location. Once we get there, then we're going to be able to set up our mining operation. And so that's going to be the first point of call right now, is just simply to stockpile as much fuel as we can, or hydrogen as we can, convert that to fuel, so we've got a stockpile of fuel there. Do the same with copper, so we've got a stockpile of ammunition. Make sure we've got enough food. And then from that point, we're going to start to grind towards getting that first ship and looking at what we need, what materials we need. And so the best way for us to do that is to look at the crafting screen that we have here. We know we're going to need iron. We're going to need a lot of iron. So that's fine because we're going to be able to get that at one of the locations. But we also need copper wire. And we're going to need a lot of copper wire. Now we've got the toolkits already because we bought those. So that's fine. We don't need to worry about those. The power source is going to be the difficult one for us because we're going to have to go to a different location to grab some stuff for that. But we can do that afterwards. But for now, in terms of getting the copper wire, we'll get as much copper wire as we can and a few survey data units as we go. Now, we only need 679 of these, so hopefully won't take too long. It's going to take a while, but it won't take too long, as we're doing other things anyway. But I fully imagine it's going to take us about a week to get this bike. So we'll see how we go. We'll do stuff in between the videos, and then we'll just keep checking in with progress. But at the moment, all I'm simply doing is moving to that location, and I'm just going to be repeatedly farming as much as I can throughout the day. Repeatedly farming to get our fuel and our copper, and I'm going to be using that to turn the copper into copper wire as was ammunition. I want to make sure I don't run out of ammunition. So I need to make sure I've always got ammunition, I've always got fuel, and then I can take any excess I've got and make copper wire. And at the same time, once my food starts to run out, I need to then move across, and I need to start farming food, and I need to start farming iron. But I need to make sure that when I do that, I've got a bit of a stockpile there. So what I'll do is in the cargo, when I move across, in the cargo, I'll take some fuel and some ammo with me, so that I can leave it in the starbase, so then I can keep mining, and I've got a bit of excess resource there to at least get me back. We don't want to get stranded. That's the key. We don't want to get stranded. So we need to make sure we've always got enough fuel to get to where we need to get to. So that's the first thing. And then farming the fuel as well. So what you don't want to do is be somewhere where you've got hydrogen, but you don't have enough ammo and enough food to be able to farm it. So yeah, we've got to make sure we keep on top of everything. Got to make sure we keep that supply chain going. And that's the plan. So that's it for this video. That's the plan moving forward. That's what we're going to do in order to get our bike. We're not going to worry about the markets. We're going to completely ignore the marketplace for now. We're just going to worry about creating a self-sustaining loop. That's our core focus, and that's how we're gonna get going right now. We're going to get comfortable with that core loop, making sure that we know we can move from place to place, we can do it repeatedly, and that we're not going to get into trouble. All right, I'll see you in the next video.